Hi, my friends. I wasn't really planning on doing anything today. Um, but I felt the urge to do this, so here I am. um, so first of all, you're going in the right direction. Just know that. Before I get into this subject, though, let me take a moment here to wish everyone that is a father a happy Father's Day. And I know that we're living in times now where the image of the father has been bastardized in such a way that it's really shameful to even entertain that idea. But unfortunately, this is where we are at right now. Regardless of the circumstances, though, if you're a dad, don't let any of that stuff get in your way of being a father. It's very important for children to have both the father and the mother so they can grow in a healthy environment with a strong mind and a strong heart. And I understand that life happens sometimes and people go separate ways, but that shouldn't but the children should never pay the price for things like that. This is what people should keep in mind. Understand that if things aren't done under the right circumstances and properly, it can heavily affect the development of that child, psychologically speaking, in so many ways as they're growing up. Because children tend to blame themselves when their parents go their separate ways. It's a very subconscious thing. It's just the way it works. But they will only do that if the parents are not focusing on the child and doing their part to make sure that that child feels no different than they were before the split happens. That's very, very important, folks. And I know things can be very complicated and things can get messy and things can get hairy and things can get ugly. But just understand and try to do your best that if you have kids, make sure that they know, even if you have to talk to them and tell them, this has nothing to do with you. This is not your fault. This was never your fault. Just understand that. I mean it. It's important. So, with that out of the way, happy Father's Day. And remember, fathers matter as well. You know, everybody matters in this scenario. That's all. Anyway, yeah, you're going on the right path. See, the way that life works is that there are all these choices, there are all these ways that we can go on about our lives. Most of the time, we always pick the trajectories and roads that are not the ones that would benefit us the most when it comes down to spiritual matters, spiritual development, and spiritual growth. And it is unfortunate that that happens, but it's just the way it happens to most people. Now, if we choose to be brave, if we choose to be courageous, if we call upon our inner strength, our resolve, to live ourselves, being ourselves, our true selves, take off that mask. Don't be fake about it. If you do that, then you will most likely follow your life's journey in the right direction. And then all you have to do after you do this, just being yourself in the moment, in the now, be present, be aware. All of these things I've spoken about so many times. Then you can just surrender to the process itself and trust the flow of life and understand that everything right now is right where it should be in your life. And if things are going to change, or if you need to take some turns and go in certain directions at whatever specific point of your life journey, you will know when to do it, and you will know how to do it, because your intuition will tell you to do so. As long as you are connected to yourself, as long as you understand what it means to just be, then all you have to do after that is trust the process of the flow of life. That's what I call it. I call it the flow of life, which is basically an amalgamation of unfoldings, situations, scenarios, and experiences that will continue to present themselves to you as this linearity that, we call time goes by. So basically, if at any time you feel that you need to do something, then you may want to do some introspection and look at that a little bit deeply to understand what is it that means. I don't know about you guys, but lately I'm having some really, really, really weird dreams, like every single night or every other night. And I was even talking to my son about it today, about some of this stuff, because sometimes I talk to him about that stuff. And, I've spoken about a couple of dreams here and there in some of my videos. I don't like to talk about dreams on these videos that I make, because I see them as a very, very personal thing. And I think that sometimes sharing things like this with others may derail certain things from unfolding in our lives, depending on what's going on. It's just an intuition that I get from these things. I don't really, I never read anything about it, or it's just how I feel personally about it. But I gotta say, I've been having some really weird dreams lately, and it's some of this stuff is driving me nuts because I'm trying to understand what it means. And I know I'm getting a lot of communication when it comes down to that, but I'm still trying to understand and figure out what some of this stuff means. So I think I'm really gonna start writing down all this stuff now from this point on. I was talking to my son about this, because usually when I have these dreams, I wake up remembering everything. And if I have like pen and paper laying around close to me, then I'll be able to write it all down so I can take a look later on and, do some Googling to see if I can somehow translate the mystery message that's trying to come through. Because a lot of these things that we get when it comes down to dreams, sometimes it's all like there's a lot of symbols. There will be a lot of things that you see. Um, there will be a lot of things that will kind of like show you things in a metaphorical way. And sometimes, depending how deep it is, and again, this is my personal experience, and I'm not saying that this is what's going to happen to everyone, but my personal experience is sometimes I have a real hard time decoding some of these things. So maybe it's only a matter of me deepening my connection with my higher self, perhaps, and meditate more, whatever it is that I am lacking at the moment, so I can truly understand what kind of messages I am being given right now. But I'm telling you, I don't know, like I said, I don't know what's going on with you guys on your end of things, but I'm getting some weird stuff coming through. Like it's really weird. And sometimes I'll have like these dreams that last, it feels like they go on forever, and there's multiple things and multiple stages of the dream where all kinds of different things are going on. It starts a certain way, then it gets to the middle, something else completely different is going on, and then it ends up ending like with this other bizarre things that, like I said, I don't want to get into specifics, but it's weird to say the least. And basically, I just wanted to talk about, if you're doing these things the way I've been talking about for a while now, and like I said, it's not hard at all. It's very simple to follow, you know, this this way of being self-aware and understanding what you really are, letting your thoughts flow, understanding that that's most of the time that's not really you, it's just ego, you know, taking up space in your mind. And once you clear out that fog, things become a lot more clearer, and you will be able to be in this different state of being, in different state of mind, pretty much constantly all the time. And that's when things really start to click in, and that's when you will really start to feel and understand that you're going in the right direction, because you will see the signs, you will see the messages, you will see synchronicities everywhere you go. Different types of synchronicities, not just numbers. I get a lot of numbers personally, but outside of that, there are a lot of other things that happen as well. It's a lot of numbers. It's a lot of weird stuff. A lot of things coming in the dreams. All of these things. So just understand that, and by doing so, you will know you're gonna be fine. You're going in the right direction. You're doing the right thing. So just keep going. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep loving yourself. Understand that. Live that. And then everything else is going to fall into place the way it's supposed to. Naturally. And it's going to feel right as well as things happen and as things unfold in your life. That's when you really get that confirmation, because you will feel it. It's hard to explain something like this, guys. Like, I'm trying to do my best here to convey certain things, but unless you experience these things yourself, it's certain things are really hard to explain like that. You have to live it to know it. It's kind of like, when you tell a child not to play with fire, or they will burn themselves and it'll hurt. They will never really know what that is like until they actually burn themselves with a real flame. Then they will understand, and that's how it works with these things that I'm talking about, with the whole process of life itself. That is what I call real faith. Real faith is knowing something by having experienced it yourself. Real faith is not blindly believing something or following something that you were told or that you read somewhere just because it resonates with you. That's blind faith. There's a difference. Real faith is experiencing it in its fullness. And then once you have that experience, you will gain the knowledge and the wisdom from it. And that's why I use the example of the child being burned. We all remember when we were told by our parents not to do that, right? And then eventually at some point it happened to us. And then after it happened to us, we finally understood why our parents were warning us about it. Do you see the beauty of it? Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. And that's all of the message that I wanted to relay out today. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on coming in here and doing anything today. It's Father's Day. I'm taking this weekend more for myself. And as the week goes by, because I'm on vacation now, tomorrow I'm gonna start my fasting. I'm planning to do at least 3 days. But if I'm feeling good after the third day, I'm most likely gonna do 4 or 5 days. I may even do more than that. I don't think I want to do 7 though, but it's gonna be anywhere between 3 to 5. 3 for sure. But I want to do more than 3, because the last time I did 3, and I felt like I should have continued, and I didn't. Fasting is really good for the spirit and the soul, and the body, and the mind, and the heart. It's very good overall. If you want to know more about it, then I suggest you go do some Googling and go look at the benefits of fasting. I think everybody should do that throughout the year. It's very good. I like to do it, so I do it as much as I possibly can. And that's really all I wanted to say today, guys. So with that said, I love you all. Very much so. And perhaps maybe one day you will know how much. And I will catch you all on the next one. So if you're a dad, have a great Father's Day. If you're not a dad, go give your dad a hug if he's still around. And I will catch you all on the next one. Bye for now.